My sincere greetings to my friends. I am Stephen Gill, Indo-Canadian poet and novelist. Like in the life of other writers and poets, I have been asked questions about my writing. Most of these questions pertain to the devices I use in my poetry and about my subjects, which are mostly love and peace. Most of these questions have been asked by professors of English literature, and these questions, along with the answers, have been published in journals and books. I have selected some of these questions with their answers for a book to be released in future. Meanwhile, I have arranged some of these questions in a sequence called My Conversations for my website stephengill.ca. I plan to pick up these questions for YouTube for a regular series under the same topic, My Conversations. At present, I have 97 questions, and I will take, if possible, one question or maybe two once a week. New questions which have not been asked before are also invited. I will try to incorporate some of them in this sequence. My conversations are answers to the questions I have been asked in interviews. Most of these questions have appeared in newspapers, in journals, and in books. These answers are based on my belief. These are based on my firm belief that life is a gift from divinity, and this gift from divinity becomes fruitful when the gift is used for sharing. Today, I start with a question that was published in a couple of big books along with other questions. The question was asked by a known professor, Dr. Nilanshu Kumar Agarwal. He is a professor of English literature. It appeared in some journals and also in his book about me. The book is called Discovering Stephen Gill, and it was released by Authors Press in 2008. Professor Dr. Agarwal has authored several books of creative writing and critical studies, and his writings have appeared in a number of journals. It is one of the several questions he asked. I will just take the one. Professor Agarwal asked, he mentioned William Wordsworth, that famous poet. No, William Wordsworth defined poetry as spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. On the other hand, T.S. Eliot goes against emotions and exclaims poetry is not a turning loose of emotions. On the other hand, poetry is an escape from emotions. What is the best way? Should a poet be subjective or a poet should be objective? Should there be a perfect balance between the two? Which part do you prefer in your poetry? Please let us know. No, my answer in those days, several years ago, my answer was the poetry is a spiritual and psychic experience. Let me repeat that poetry is a spiritual and psychic experience. And to give shape to this experience, poets need special knowledge in order to use images. Poet needs special knowledge in order to use tone, in order to use the economy of words and other techniques to weave a rainbow of beauty. Poets select and adjust words in different combinations. Poetry is neither emotions recollected in tranquility, nor it is turning loose of emotions. I do not agree 100% with the definition of William Wordsworth, who says that poetry is spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. I do not agree fully with T.S. Eliot either. T.S. Eliot says, poetry is not a turning loose of emotions. On the other hand, poetry is an escape from emotions. I believe that poetry is experience, as I said before. I believe that this experience can happen anytime with or without reason. One element that is common in both these definitions and also most of the time present in most others also is the presence of emotions. I will call these emotions airy beings. With their tools, poets catch the airy beings in the net of their words. It is like catching fish in a sea. Painters catch these fish in the net of their colors with the hands of their brushes. Dancers catch them in the net of the movements with their hands, with their eyes and other parts of the body. These are different techniques that do the same work. Poets train themselves to catch airy beings, and I call these airy beings the robins of my art in my preface to The Flame. And this book, The Flame, it is a poem, it's an epic, I will call it modern epic, and it was published in 2008. Now there I say that in preface I say that these robins are not meant to be caged. They are the birds of freedom. They enjoy their freedom when poets send them to publications or present them in a book for the enjoyment of the reader. In my poem Oars, O-A-R-S, Oars, which was included in my collection Songs Before Shrine, I call these creatures naked creatures of ways. A poet clothed them with images stitched with words. Poets are wordsmiths who have knowledge, who have education about the tools that are used to clothe these airy beings in a graceful way. Now, this is an art. A person may be born with a propensity. A person may be born with a talent, but this talent is like a raw diamond that has to be chiseled. This raw diamond has to be polished into a beautiful form. In order to acquire the knowledge of chiseling, in order to acquire the knowledge of polishing, a poet needs work that I call perspiration. To be poetry is 75% perspiration and 25% inspiration or talent. Perspiration needs struggle to know how to use the tools of a poet effectively. Please, towards the end, do me a favor. Do not forget to push the button here to subscribe to my channel, new channel. Subscription is fully free. Just please push the button. Within days, I will be back with an interesting question asked by the chief editor of Indian periodical. The question is about the importance of poetry in human development. Thank you, and may the Almighty bless you